So what is media anyway? Media is defined as the communication outlets which are used to disseminate information to large numbers of people. Some examples of media are printed materials, such as newspapers and magazines, broadcasted materials such as TV shows and radio, and digital materials such as those in computers and the internet. Today, new media has become very involved in our everyday lives. In April earlier this year, it was reported that over 4.57 billion people are now using the internet. That's about 59% of the world's population. It was also reported that over 3.81 billion people are now actively using social media. This upward trend in digital use, along with the convergence of our communication outlets, allows for our media experience to become even more dynamic. This evolution of media has also set us different dimensions. The first is the legal dimension. Here, we'll see the concept of intellectual property, or IP. IP refers to creations of the mind that are protected by law. It consists of many types, such as patents for inventions, trademarks for brand names, copyrights for literary and artistic works, and industrial designs for aesthetic features. Take note, violation of IP law is illegal and will cause you to commit copyright infringement, which is punishable by law. In the Philippines, copyright infringement can get you imprisoned for between 1 to 9 years and fined for between 50,000 to 1,500,000 pesos. Next, we now move on to the ethical dimension of media. Some ethical issues in media are news manipulation, which may induce censorship and propaganda, stereotyping, which may induce prejudice towards racial groups and genders, and cyberbullying, which may induce prolonged mental and emotional distress among victims. In the Philippines, there is still no law which specifically covers cyberbullying, but there are ways for victims to deal with it. For example, victims may report cyberbullying to the police and even file a criminal case should they want to. Finally, we now move on to the social dimension of media. One of the biggest social issues in media is the digital divide. The digital divide refers to the gap between people that have access to modern information and communications technologies and those that don't. It is very important to bridge this gap as digital access becomes more fundamental in our everyday lives. In 2016, the United Nations even declared access to the internet to be a basic human right. And so, the media is the most powerful tool of communication that we have in the world today. Unfortunately, it is also one of the most mishandled. As such, it is important that we become responsible with how we use media. We can try to do this by ourselves, or we can get help from certain sources and organizations. Canada's non-profit Media Smarts can be of great help. Indeed, let us all become informed about the media. Let us all learn how to evaluate media critically and sensibly. Let us all become media literate today.